We are talking about a perfumer who the perfume industry has named as the Master of Oud. He is known for Mont Blanc Explorer, Oud Maracuja, Oud Stallion, Liwa, Oud Talisman, just to name a few. Have you guessed who it is? Yes, none other than Mr. Jordi Fernández is who we are discussing today in today's episode of The Nose Behind Part 3. He is from Catalonia in Spain, and he has had an interest in perfumery from a young age, as they all do. This is also where he started his career in fragrance with a company called Fragrance based in Barcelona. He actually never went to perfumery school, such as other perfumers, which is very unique. This probably explains his non-traditional approach to perfumes, which we'll get more into later in the episode. But what about Jordi's creative process? He draws many inspirations from cultures around the world on his travels, primarily from the Middle East. This definitely reflects in a lot of the work he has produced, as he has stated that he is mesmerized by the depth of Oriental fragrances. He even has a base in Dubai, which is pretty unheard of from a perfumer. The only other major perfume brand that I know is based in Dubai is Parfum de Mali and Initio. He also draws inspiration from colors and mood boards, which give him an idea of which warm materials that he is going to look towards using in that perfume. As for ingredients, he formulates new ingredients by doing a lot of research and collaborates a lot directly with the scientists who help him with his formulations, which I really appreciate. A favorite ingredient of his, aside from oud, is patchouli. He loves the natural scent of it and the richness and complexity that it brings to perfumes, which is why it features a lot in his creations. I am 100% with him on that. I am obsessed with patchouli. So many of the fragrances in my collection have patchouli, and I also find that a lot of the fragrances that I fall in love with when I'm out and about trying them tend to have patchouli in the notes. So let's talk about Mr. Jordi Fernández's career highlights. In 2010, he joined world-renowned perfumery manufacturer Givaudan and has released banger after banger since then. It's been non-stop. In 2017, he released the banger Liwa for Widian, one of my personal faves from his collection. In 2018, he released Brompton Immortals for Ex Nihilo. He didn't rest in 2018, by the way. He released another banger, London for Widian. So my top two from Widian are Liwa and London, the best. Honestly, I can't choose between the two, but if I was to choose one, it will probably be Liwa, because London I love, but the raspberry I feel like I can slightly get from other fragrances. He also released in 2019 Mont Blanc Explorer, which I would say is one of the hallmark scents from his collection. In 2021, he released 4 scents for the Atelier Versace collection. He also released Haute for Parfum de Mali that year. And he released his most famous fragrance to date, Oud Maracuja, in 2023. I would say Oud Maracuja is the perfume that put him on the map for today's generation of perfume lovers. He has kind of been known before that, but this scent, Oud Maracuja, is what really made him blow up. Alright, so let's move on to the exciting part. What are his signature fragrances? So let's start off strong. We have Liwa, Brompton Immortals, London, New York, Vanille Rouge, Mont Blanc Explorer, Gold Immortals, The Hedonist, Wood Whisper, Haute, Outcast Blue, Baniyas, Gold Immortals Extrait, Brompton Immortals Extrait, Oud Stallion, Oud Talisman, Oud Maracuja, Camera Kahwa, Encens Précieux, Cuir Infrarouge, London Harrods Exclusive, Michael Kors pour Homme and pour Femme, Oud Cadenza, The Hedonist Extrait, Yassat, Patchouli Précieux, Eros Energy, and Lucius. And that's just to name a few. Jordi Fernandez's portfolio is enormous, gigantic. So many more beautiful fragrances he has released with other brands, and some that I have not named in this list, but you get the drift. I unfortunately do not own any of his fragrances in my collection, but the next on my wish list that I do wish to purchase from him are Liwa and London. Also, I would really like to get my hands on Cuir Infrarouge. That is one of the best scents for summer. Oud Maracuja, as much as I like it, I don't really feel like I actually need it in my collection, but it will be nice to have as well. Let's talk about some of the challenges that he may be facing as a perfumer. In an interview, he kept on stating how the industry is tough and demanding, which is present in any industry, as you may expect. But when you look at the rate at which some perfumers pump out perfumes, you can tell they are always working. Even with Jordi, he is traveling several times per month in between his bases in Spain, the UAE, France, and Switzerland. Also paired with launches, industry events, and so on, I can imagine that this is very draining for him. He's always in London in Harrods doing some sort of workshop or launch. I always see him about like sometimes at industry events. So I can tell that he's highly in demand. He also mentioned that the industry is a business to business industry, and a lot of the time in the process, perfumers are kept out of the loop with decisions and so on, which may indicate that they may not have complete 100% control of the final product that we see, which is a perspective that honestly I had never heard about before. I don't think any other perfumer has mentioned this in my research for this series. His influence today cannot be understated. Very well known. He is close to becoming a perfume god in the modern day sense, similarly to Quentin Biche, for the new generation perfume lovers such as me. His impact on social media is next to none as well, especially because of him tailoring especially to the masculine niche market, which is kind of not many perfumers are going down that route. And also his new twist on traditionally Middle Eastern ingredients, which is very much something that's becoming more popular nowadays. This approach he takes, I believe, has contributed in him bringing forth Middle Eastern styles to the mass Western market, which in the past people used to shy away from deeper scents like that. And honestly, I don't think any perfume has really brought forward Middle Eastern scents at the rate which Jordi Fernández has done in the past. His heavy hitters are definitely Oud Maracuja, Oud Stallion, Mont Blanc Explorer, Liwa, and Blue Talisman, just to name a few, as there are many more. They are all popping right now on social media, especially in the year 2024. I don't think there was a day that went by that I did not see a post on TikTok about Blue Talisman. Non-stop. People are talking about it from the moment it was released. And also, I would say the same for Oud Maracuja. From when it was released in 2023, it didn't really get popular on social media, I would say, until 2024. And people just didn't stop talking about it, especially around the summertime. I would say his reception has been overall positive, but I have been hearing some inklings of complaints as of recently about Oud Maracuja, in which some people are now saying now smells synthetic to them. But honestly, I still like it. I think it may be a case of, when a fragrance becomes overexposed, like for example with Baccarat Rouge, there are a group of people who now tend to shy away from it or have a negative perspective because it's become so overexposed and popular. I would say that's what people are now dealing with Oud Maracuja for Maison Crivelli. But honestly, aside from this, overall his work has received very positive feedback. Here are some thoughts just to conclude today's episode. I would like to see more feminine leaning scents from him, which will be a new direction that he'll be going towards. Honestly, in his collection, I would say The only feminine leaning scent that's like truly feminine is Cuir and Infrarouge because of the raspberry. So delicious. I have to have that in my collection. I would also like to see him work more with other brands aside from the main ones such as Ex Nihilo, Widian, Maison Crivelli and Versace. I would like to see him work with Amouage. I would like to see him work with Creed. I would like to see him work with Parfum de Marly. So brands that he hasn't really gone towards in the past. I do believe that he will be one of the star perfumers of this decade, simply because aside from the sheer amount of work he produces, the quality of his work cannot be understated. The quality of his work cannot be disputed. Honestly, none of his fragrances smell cheap, and even the cheaper ones in price, such as Mont Blanc Explorer, do not smell like they are cheap or compromised on any ingredients. I'm obsessed with the quality of his work. Another thing is I would love to see him collaborate with Quentin, my number one. I think their work would be out of this world. I would like to see him collaborate with other perfumers more as well. I think he works solo a lot on his work. Aside from the quality of his ingredients, I can tell he handpicks the brands he chooses to work with, as he only works with higher end brands, which already have a name for themselves, which shows his dedication to quality. You don't really see him associated with riff-raff perfume brands. It is what it is. Thank you for watching. My apologies for this episode being a day late, but it's here now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, which other perfumers you want to see in the future, and any other comments you have in general about Jordi Fernández and his work. I'm honestly excited to see him go from strength to strength in the future. I'm obsessed with his style of work. He just knows what he's doing. I really hope he does do more feminine fragrances in the future. I'll be first in line to purchase those. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. So please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bisous.